And if you're not building an affiliate income, I know that your clients would love to use the tools and resources that you recommend. And if you could assist them in implementing those, become successful with them, even far after they become clients and maybe they go different ways, they'll still use that software that you get monthly recurring revenue from every single month.
Welcome to the Speaking for Profit podcast, where we talk about monetizing your message and taking your business to the next level. As y'all know, I am passionate about sustainability, but I'm also a coach that is often being coached. So today I have my amazing coach here, Doug, and I call him the king of affiliate marketing. He's also the king of conversion events. Many of you who are watching this might have been through my 5 days to 5-figure speaking gig challenge. And a lot of those systems and the trust that we've been able to build in that space has been because of the framework that Doug has given me. But today we're going to really focus on affiliate marketing. And I just want you to know that you are learning from a rock star and someone who has been killing the game. So Doug Boughton is a Dream Card winner, award winner, two Comma Club winner. So, right, like he's won the ClickFunnels Award, he's won a Dream Card. But one of his biggest things that he always shares is that he's earned over $1 million in affiliate income. And before we even started this interview, Doug was talking about how affiliate marketing covers most of their operational expenses and the taxes in their business. So imagine this, y'all. You get behind an amazing product that you love, that you know can serve yourself and your community, and you utilize that to make extra money in your business so that when you make the $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $3,000 from coaching, a lot of that goes directly to you because you have affiliate marketing that's covering the rest of it. So I am so excited about this conversation, and I'm going to bring Doug to our audience so that we can get into it. Welcome, Doug.
What's up, Evolve? Thanks for having me. What's up, everybody listening out there? I'm excited to share with all of you.
Yeah. So Doug, the reason I want to tell you this as we get started in the conversation, the reason I was attracted to work with you has been because of your main offer, which is full-time freedom. And I remember when I first started working with you and you explaining it, you talked about how freedom really is really personal to you and what you want in your life. So can you take us a little bit through your journey? How did you get to this idea of full-time freedom, and what does that mean for you personally as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, and thank you for all the kind words in the beginning, and really like one of my favorite topics to share. And to be honest, I didn't really understand the idea of what I really wanted. I think a lot of people starting out online, for me, that journey started early 2019. I knew one thing: I'm in debt. I dropped out of college. I got to pay off this near 6-figure student loan debt. I got to figure out a way. I just quit my restaurant job, working full-time as a server, and things aren't so hot. And for me, the most logical path was, let's go get behind an affiliate offer. And up until that point, some people think I started in 2019. No, I just went full-time at that point. But I spent 7 years up to that point working part-time online, called the sunrise shift. I'd come home from my doubles and I'd work until the sun comes up, trying to figure this thing out. Over 40 something products I tried to sell, affiliate products, network marketing, ClickBank, all of that. And I felt like I failed. But what I realized at that moment in 2019 was I failed forward, because I took a lot of the skill sets I learned to go get behind a product I actually care about. And you mentioned it. And I even have an acronym that help you remember this. If you're listening, finding a real product. Right? Let's say if you want, you have an impact, you have a passion, you want to go get that freedom. I believe it starts with gaining the skill sets. And for me, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't get behind something I believe in. And that was the realization that took me full time. Was I stopped doing all the things, looked for a real product. So it's something that's relatable. Finding something that's relatable to your story and your journey that you're using and loving. The E, earning potential. I promoted a lot of things up to that point that just didn't have the potential to earn. And then A is alignment, knowing that you're aligned to the cause or the product, the business, the owners of that product. And lastly, most importantly, longevity, knowing that it's going to be here for time to stay. In those 7 years where I was failing forward, I promoted a lot of things that were here one day, gone the next. And it was super frustrating. But coming back to your question about the freedom, I called my business Sales Funnel Mastery in the beginning, right? I created a community, created a free course, that community grew very quickly to 2,000 members organically on Facebook. And the product I got behind was ClickFunnels, right? So after testing all the website things, trying to get successful online, finding ClickFunnels was one of the best things I discovered for me as a beginner who doesn't love tech to get, fluent with this. So I created a community that would attract people using that software, wanting to learn that software. And I would get them the knowledge to monetize it. How can they go create profitable funnels, and teaching them some different ways and bringing experts to actually share their knowledge on how to monetize. So I brought in 2 Comic Club Award winners like Catherine Jones to teach funnel building, and Peter Prue to teach e-commerce, and Jeff Miller teach agency, and actually Cruzy, who you just interviewed, to teach the community aspect of it. And I taught the affiliate module. So in the beginning, I felt like I didn't have the freedom. I was just working in my business, and I went to a mastermind, got around the right people, and they all had their thing, right? And I'm like, I'm just like piggybacking. I'm just an affiliate. I really downplayed affiliate, and I felt embarrassed that I was only an affiliate marketer. And I started asking myself, like, what do I really want? And one day I actually had a dream, and I woke up, and in my dream, full-time freedom came to me. And it was like, that's what it's really about. Full-time freedom is doing things you love with the people you love when you want to do them at your own accord. No one's scheduled to follow. So that was really what happened. I don't think I would have found that higher aim without going through the failures, quote unquote, that all led to the success.
Yeah, that's really powerful that you found that, right, in a space where you didn't feel confident, right? Like you're seeing all the rest of these people grow their business. So for the folks who are just getting started, Doug, right, like we hear a lot of concepts. We hear funnels and affiliate marketing and communities. What exactly is affiliate marketing, and what is ClickFunnels? Because that's where you've had the most success thus far.
Yeah, I think of affiliate marketing as really one of the best ways to grow any business, which is naturally already happening, which is word of mouth, right? We talk about our favorite restaurants and our favorite experiences and products to people, and we're not getting paid for it. Imagine if you get to talk about the things you love and use and had a great experience with, and you actually get a commission from that, more specifically, recurring commissions. Most big companies, even including Walmart, Amazon, they all have affiliate programs. You could sign up when they buy products, you could actually go out and promote them and make a commission on them. Most of those are one-off. And when I think about tools and resources, especially for you business owners, you're using tools and resources in your business. And if you love them and you know that's a part of your model, why not talk about these things to our clients and share with them how to be successful with them, specifically like software. So one of the first softwares I know we need as business owners is a way to build our websites, our sales funnel, our sales process, our marketing, and that entire thing. And in the beginning, ClickFunnels was that tool for me. And ClickFunnels allows you to build your marketing, your web pages, your lead management, your email marketing, all the things you need to go be successful online. And what I loved about that model is that it's a recurring monthly subscription that people pay for. And it's something, if they become successful with it, they'll always need, and they'll never want to stop paying, which means I earn the percent of commission every month that they stay active. In fact, I got started because when I quit my restaurant job, I actually took that the owner on as a client. I was helping them manage their marketing and getting people to celebrate their birthdays, anniversaries, coming in through their sales funnel on ClickFunnels to their website and managing all that marketing. And after servicing a few restaurant owners in my hometown in Connecticut, the only thing, I hate to say it, but the only thing I really loved about that business model was when they paid for their ClickFunnels account each month, because they weren't paying me. I was chasing checks through the holidays, and I realized I want to go promote this. How do I get 100 people using this software? Because when I get 100 people signed up, that's going to pay me 5 figures per month. Plus, once I get 100 members, they reward you with your dream car. So I ended up earning that dream car award 2 months into 2019 from taking what I was doing and found that I loved and said, I can't go service 100 clients. That'd be crazy. I could barely keep up with the 8 that I have, but I can go teach online and create a community around this product, give them what they need to be successful with it. And within 2 months, my community grew to 2,000 members. Over 100 of them signed up to that software and created that passive income stream for me.
That's so cool. So what was the dream car that you got?
Yeah. I went from like an '01 Acura that was breaking down. I love that car. I don't want to give it up. I'll just give you I was going to give you the story, but BMW 4 Series M model. And I love that car.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's on point right there. They
Yeah.
upgraded you big time. So do
Huge.
they
Yeah.
still do the Dream Car Award, or they're doing something different now, right? They don't
Yeah,
do
we
that
still
anymore.
do it.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, I said that was my car because I went with the lease option. There's pros and cons. I'm not going to get to that debate, but I like having a new car every 3 years. So I'm currently in a hybrid 3 Series BMW. So they still pay. How it works is once you hit that 100 threshold, they pay you $500 a month towards your car. Of course, BMW is a little pricey, so it's a little bit more. But when you hit 200 members, they actually pay $1,000, which that actually covers my full payment plus some.
Wow. So
Yeah.
do you still have affiliate income coming from ClickFunnels, even though you have other products that you affiliate for as well, right?
Yes, still coming in strong. And you're right. I think it's important to focus on one thing. So for all of 2019, my only product was ClickFunnels. Brought in over $100,000 in revenue that first year in affiliate income through just focusing on one thing. And what I find, like any good carpenter, right? They have multiple tools. Like any business owner, you have multiple tools. And it's not about promoting everything and anything, which was a mistake I made for 7 years leading up to this point of becoming focused on one. But as I evolved my business, obviously there was next layers. I remember paying for ClickFunnels for $97 a month and barely able to keep up with that payment. And now I look at my software investments every month and what I pay subscriptions on to run my business. We made a joke this morning with somebody, I could be driving a Bentley, which is funny. But when you think about it, it's not a cost, it's an investment. And I think about all the time that saves me. And I think you all know time is your most valuable asset. So if a software can come in and play and help you optimize your business and automate a lot of things and streamline, you can become a lot more profitable. And it's more of an investment rather than as a cost. So yeah, there's multiple tools that I now use and help my clients with.
The powerful thing about this, Doug, is it's number one, full-time freedom, because you don't have to do a lot of the work. The software is doing a lot of the work. But also you mentioned that you were able to build communities behind it. And I know that that's a powerful part of starting an affiliate play. So let's say I'm a new business owner and I've got a product that I really love. Like one of the things I love, which is ClickFunnels' competitor, is Kajabi. That's the one that I'm pushing and constantly getting people to do. What type of campaigns have you done to build community and also to win the Dream Car Award?
Yeah, even I know it's been some time since 2019, and the framework, when I look at it, I call it the community ascension model. It works for anything you're trying to sell online. And a lot of people have different methods of teaching how to sell. Some people say just run ads to a book call funnel. You get on a phone, you sell people over the phone. And that's very one-on-one, and it's scalable if you hire a team and things like that, but at what cost, right? And everything I've done that I've brought in has always been one-to-many, and that is through community. And I look at it as building an email list, but it's like supercharged because you have them in some kind of community. There's a lot of tools. If you look at Kajabi, ClickFunnels, Go High Level, School, Circle, there's so many platforms popping up that are allowing businesses to build communities because that's where things are going. And I think it's getting more strong as we go. So yeah, it's about finding a tool, a resource that you want to promote and thinking about why do people want to buy that? People buy things that solve a problem. So now if you think about the community aspect, what is that number one high impact problem you could help people solve? And when that problem's solved, it enhances their life and their business and all their other problems start to go away, right? So I think it's about finding what that is and not just selling a tool, but giving some free resources to help them make the decision to use that thing that you're using. So for me, there's 3 objections, and this is nothing I've created. It's just what I've learned from my mentors is there's a vehicle objection, which is actually why they're objecting to use the tool or the product that you have. Then there's the internal objection, why they can't use that tool or why they're not capable or knowledgeable to use it. And then the third thing is the external objections, time and money and energy. So how can you create a community to help them shift those beliefs specifically through a free resource? So I think my framework's always been create a free resource, contain that in the community. They have to join the community to access that resource. They come from the information, they stay for the community. Now they're on your email list. Now they're seeing your content in that community. It gets to be automated. And that is really how we send them from thinking about using the product to being absolutely sold on the product, and not just sold on using it, but sticking with it for the long haul. And I believe that that could be done for any type of product or service.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Doug. I already am thinking about a play. Because, I've been doing the Kajabi affiliates for a while. I think about like 20 people on there consistently who've stayed for a while. And what I do as a bonus is I give them a course to help them make their first $1,000 on Kajabi. But now I'm like, the course has been by itself, and I've been wondering to myself, how do I keep them involved so that I don't have as much churn or turnover? I can create a school community where that course lives, and they can have access to that for free. So you already are getting the wheels turning in me, which I appreciate, and why I'm happy that you're one of my coaches. Now, Doug, when it comes to affiliate marketing and that particular income, I know there's some ups and downs that come with it. What strategies would you not do again in order to be successful?
Especially starting out, great question. I wouldn't have started with trying to find something that just makes money. Going back to the acronym of REAL, what is your journey? I believe that who we get to help is usually a passive version of ourselves. So getting clear on really who do we want to help solve a specific problem. I believe that customers and clients are created from people who are seeking a solution to a problem that they're currently experiencing. And the best thing that we can sell is a solution that we've already come across that helped us in our journey, right? So I think it's really identifying one thing in the beginning and letting that evolve. I look at how my journey led from becoming a dream car winner through a community, just what you're doing, same thing, free course, community, sign up all people to use their software, and then stick with it by giving them bonuses and incentives to stay, and just hearing what they need more support in. And from there, people start asking me, how did you do that? Right. And I'm like, well, it was through a community. So I started, my first actually product that I sold, that I created, was a course on creating a community and leveraging that model to grow. And here we are years later, where it's just enhanced a little bit more as I look at the trajectory and what we've removed and what can we enhance to accelerate them towards results. And as time goes on, we all know marketing and things change so rapidly, but the next thing will show up when you're focused. So I think the biggest advice is focusing on one thing, one REAL with the acronym affiliate product to start, then seeing what shows up next and following your alignment to your vision of what you want to achieve.
They do emails and pieces, articles and stuff on the local community for Charlotte for Black people. So I pitched the social experience as an experience, one that could help with the communal and social infrastructure within the city.
Didn't even know each other was going to be there, but I was there as well. I'll say a win. I performed in the drag show at ACPA, so
I guess I have two wins. The book that I wrote a chapter and I designed the cover is coming out. It's ready for pre-order. Into abolition, something about theater, making it. I don't remember the last part. And then my 50K client, we have a call scheduled on Wednesday. So hopefully that is the day that I am securing this bag.
That engagement I got went phenomenal. So they loved it and they're already following up. They're trying to put me on like retainer or something to like continue to do trainings and stuff for their IHS thingy. And so
my one win is whittling down my day to focus on 2 tasks a day, something in the morning, something in the afternoon, and a third thing as a bonus to try and not overwhelm myself this week.
My win is that last week I had a couple good email introductions to people, and I'm actually in conversation with the Minnesota Historical Society about bringing in a 4-part workshop to their organization.
Trying to find this win. We'll keep it in the financial sector, I guess. Spark some Bitcoin.
Okay, definitely. So one thing you would do is like not pretty much not mess with anything that you're not behind and that you don't use.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes I'll see some creators, especially on YouTube, and it's like, one video they're promoting ClickFunnels, the next video they're promoting a foot massager. It's like, I don't know what you do, right? So it can get a little bit confusing, and I feel like it could go against building that know, like, and trust that you really need to build with your audience. Because I think what you're really good at, Doug, is thinking about the future. And even though you didn't think about it, maybe right up front, you knew eventually you wanted to sell your own product, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be behind ClickFunnels and promoting it, it needs to be something that works well, because if that fails, then people don't trust you when you're out there committing and coaching them as well. So I love that.
And I have a caveat, if I could. If you're niched, like for example, business coaching, ClickFunnels is one tool, but there may be other tools involved. So I believe that everything that people invest in solves something, but it also creates a new problem. So for example, when I was selling ClickFunnels, a big problem I ran into is a lot of people that were using the software couldn't afford the higher level plan for $297, right? Starting out. And why would they want that tool? Well, it does the email marketing component. So I found another tool called Active Campaign and said, hey, instead of going up to the $297 plan, stay on the $97 plan, but you could use Active Campaign as your email marketing tool, and it's far less expensive. And that's just another way to kind of build a product line, if you will, staying within the same niche. And I think that's when you can look at different tools. And now when I look at it, there's probably, I'd say, 4 tools that come to mind that I'm really focused on, and everything plays a part, right? You have one with your marketing and your websites and things like that, for like ClickFunnels, for example. And then you have one for email marketing, and then you have one for, your communities. So how can I build if you're going to go build your product, how can you build a product that introduces your clients into these products, and what order would you need them? And as they become successful, introduce them to the next component that solves the next problem. And I think that's a great way to do multiple things. But again, in the beginning, I think it's important to focus on the one, go hit a big number of result that you want, and then find out what gets to solve that next problem for them, introduce that product to them.
Brilliant. So Doug, you've made 7 figures from affiliate marketing, which is really, really powerful. And as you know, I told you I was having a call with Andrew before, and we were talking about profit and loss and making sure that you keep your money so that you're not spending it all when it comes to your financial freedom. What is your strategy around that? How do you make sure that you scale your 7-figure business, but that you don't use all of the currency, right, to run the business? What type of systems do you have set up to be successful when it comes to that?
Yeah, it's so interesting when we hear like the $1 million mark and we think about, just when I get there. And I'll be completely open with everybody here. My first $1 million, when I hit that 2 Comma Club award, I looked at my bank account and saw $34,000 left over. And of course I paid myself and all the things over like the time frame getting up to that point, but that hit me. And I realized that I came up, from a single mother family. I have a twin brother, a younger brother. And man, I remember her working most days and nights, and she did an amazing job. We were in sports and all the things. And I just remember like my mindset around money. And I believe that now I talk about making way for more, right? We could go hit that $1 million goal. I think there's a lot of people out there that start with nothing and go make something of themselves, but it's not about the revenue. It's about what you keep, like you just mentioned. And if we take these old habits and mindset that we have around money into making the millions, it really doesn't matter. So for me, a lot of what happened in that time frame was I felt like I had to spend it faster than I was making it. It was subconscious. It was, well, what happens if I outgrow my family, my loved ones, my friends, and a lot of those things that came up that I'm now very clear on and aware of. And then getting to look at that and say, no, like actually I've inspired my family to go start their business. Both my brothers, my mother, my youngest brother works with me in my business and he's doing some cool things. So
shout out to Jeremy. He's amazing.
Shout out to Jeremy. Right. So I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I had a team of 12 up until this year. And again, it's just listening to the market, and I trust my mentors and coaches and I want what they have. But the truth is a lot of them don't share behind the scenes of where they're at. And we don't maybe realize it, but a lot of them are spending sometimes in some cases more than they're making to go get those awards. Right. And for me, I said, you know what, I challenge this. It gets to be simple. We've gone from a team of 12 down to me and 3 others. We're going very lean. And I think that I feel really aligned to that, going lean and keeping things simple and focusing on the affiliate model, as well as, of course, we have our own products and programs. But for me, thinking about the future and the lifestyle that I want, where, what if something happened where coaching, my programs went away? Could I sustain? And we've really focused on it for the last few years, and we're doubling down now and looking at how do we create the trainings and ascension to use the products that we recommend and give them what they need to go be successful with those tools. And my goal now is to take what we've already done and make it more profitable, grow our revenue sources through affiliate income. And of course, I'll still love to coach and do all these things for as long as I get to. But I think that if you're selling done-for-you services, coaching, or anything like that, and if you're not building an affiliate income, I know that your clients would love to use the tools and resources that you recommend. And if you could assist them in implementing those, become successful with them, even far after they become clients and maybe they go different ways, they'll still use that software that you get monthly recurring revenue from every single month.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being vulnerable enough to share like how much money you had in your bank account during the 2-comma war, because that's why I really I actually love working with you, Doug, because you're always keeping it real. So many folks keep up a facade, and I just feel that doesn't allow us all to grow. So I just really appreciate your transparency. How do we know if affiliate product is good or not, right? Like, I know one of the things I learned from you was to look for products that aren't just one-offs, right? Like, there's a lot of products where you refer a person, you get paid one time. But I love the reoccurring income, and that's why I love being an affiliate of Kajabi. Plus, I love the product. And all y'all know who are watching this, I am a Kajabi backer because of the easefulness that is brought to my business. And I believe in easeful abundance. But for you, when you're thinking about backing a product and affiliating, what do you look at? Do you just look at the payouts? Do you look at the testimonials? How do you decide on which one to pick?
For me, I have to use it first. So, I love what you're doing with Kajabi. How long have you used Kajabi for?
Since the beginning. I mean, since 3-4 years now. Yep.
Yeah. So you got to be a customer of the product. You got to love it. You got to experience it. No matter what you read online or see, just going through the process of getting to know not only the product, but the company, and more importantly, the people running the company. And it has to be in alignment. You have to see that there's longevity there. Sometimes it's okay to take a risk. I took a lot of risks in 7 years leading up to 2019 that didn't work out. And I just wasn't looking at these things. I didn't know the people running it. I didn't use the products. I was after the money. I wanted to get out of debt. I wanted to just, I was chasing checks. And when you start thinking about people and where you're going, that's when the shift happens. So yeah, I get a lot of offers, and I look at a lot of products that are tempting, but I just want to most importantly know that who's running it, that I'm aligned, that I actually use and love the product, and I know it's going to be around for a long time, and that they'll take care of their customers. I think that's ultimately the number one thing to focus on.
Okay, definitely. So making sure that you know the product, you're a customer, you trust the founder, and it's going to be around for a while. When it comes to affiliate marketing and getting those payouts, and building your business on top of that, how do you know when you're ready to create your own community and your own course? Like, I know you mentioned it became a moment because people started to ask you more questions, but do you think that people have to have their own like course or coaching program in order to be profitable? Or are you saying that people can just run a business just through an affiliate marketing? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you see a lot of affiliate marketers out there, and they do the short form content until something hits and they get a sale, and they leverage that result to go say, hey, I made this much money in this much time. And they just leverage the bigger results as they grow. And that's one way to do it. But I know that there's things cracking down. I see people getting removed from social media platforms all the time, and FTC getting involved. There's a lot of things that are going to continue to get more difficult with that. And, I believe in leveraging results and sharing it, but I'd rather share other things like who it's helped and how it's helped, and not just about the money. But I do believe in the community, and I just believe in it because it worked for me. What changed from 2012 to 2019 when I was literally getting nowhere? 2019, what did I do? I created a community, and I had used ClickFunnels for some time up until that point. So I learned it. I liked it. I knew everything I needed to know about the product to go get more loud about it. And I just thought to myself, what am I facing with using this product that I know people might have issues with? Why do people churn? Why do they stop using it? And I started joining other communities just to see what they were doing. And I would just kind of look at, what do I love that they're doing? What are they missing the mark on, or what don't I like? When I created my community, I had a little bit of knowledge on the software. I was by far no expert on the tool. And instead of playing expert, I played like journalist, and I kind of just documented my journey. So I remember one of the first live streams I did in my community, I went live, said, hey, here's where I'm at. Literally just went negative in the bank because my clients that I have aren't paying the bills. They said, call me next month. But I do have affiliate coming in from ClickFunnels. And that's the only reason I haven't gone back at a server job. And I said, here's my goal. I want to become a dream car winner. I want to get 100 people signed up to the software. Here's my plan. Here's what I want to do for those of you joining this community. And it's not me that's going to teach you. I feel good about the affiliate side. I've done some things here. I have some results. And I reached out to, I kind of thought about the tool and like, what do people want? They want to make money with the tool. They don't want to just have a tool that they're using, like software, right? So the 5 ways identified, we called my community Sales Funnel Mastery, 5 Ways to Monetize ClickFunnels. Named the community that, created the free course that went along with that. And what I did was brought in experts to teach the 5 ways. And as I mentioned earlier, I knew people were building funnels and selling these websites. So I knew Catherine was the person to teach that. I knew people that were finding physical products online. And I found who's using ClickFunnels for that, who's the best at it, who's already 2 Comic Club Award winner, that Peter Prue. Agency model, doing done-for-you services using this tool, local businesses, so on. That was, Jeff Miller. And then Cruzy coming in talking about how to create info products and courses and things like that. I brought Andrew in, and then the affiliate one I taught because I was getting some results there. So I brought in other experts, and people, my fear was that they would say no, but I worked my way into their communities. I served those people. I answered questions. I just showed up before I went for the ask, and I spent some time doing that. And even though I showed up for their communities, I thought, what if they say no? But I just found, like, in this community, when you find people using specific tools, and I just painted the vision, said, hey, I want to grow this community to the thousands. And anyone who joins this community is going to get to watch that one lesson in my free course, and I could link them to your stuff. And it's very collaborative. And that's what I did. And in fact, once we had that free course created, how it led to the paid product of things, I actually developed my skill sets more, ask those people, those experts, to share a little bit more of something they would share with like just their clients, just to give people that next level. And people started buying my first product for $997. And same thing, when they would go to Catherine or Peter or Andrew or Jeff, and they said, this is my path to monetize, I would hand them off to that person, and I'd get affiliate commission for when they go and work with those people. So not only did I sell my course making a front end profit, but I was actually selling ClickFunnels as the tool, and then send them to the right expert where they would stick with that tool for the long haul. And even though they're working with those people, I'm still getting commission on the software they're using. Plus, I believe it's like, when you send somebody to somebody else and they get a result, they're not going to forget you. You know what I mean? They'll come back and continue to work with you as well. So I know that's a lot I just threw. Hope you guys can see how that picture worked, but that's what worked for me to build my first product. And I was a small piece of it.
Yeah, I really love that you broke all that down, because I think that what people don't trust is that they have other people in their communities in the world that can support them. And a lot of people will not create the course, not create the book, not do the next step, because they're fearful that they're not going to be enough. But what you really did lean into, and I think you're great at, Doug, is relationships and partnerships, right? Which has really made you really, really successful. So now I'm learning from you about the power of creating a community. And I want to talk a little bit about that. What are 3 aspects that make a community really successful? Because I've been in several communities, whether it's Facebook, school, circle, mighty networks, all these different places. And there's some places that I continue to come back to, and there's some places that I totally forget about. So I know you have a whole framework, which I'm currently learning right now, and I'm really excited about, but maybe 3 things that you think makes a community really successful and keeps people engaged.
Yeah, 3 things right off the top of my head. Number 1 is attracting the right people that have a specific goal in mind, really attracting like-minded individuals. So there's got to be some kind of people call it a niche, but I really think it's more of interest based. What's going to bring like-minded people together? So number one is like, what can you create to help them get to their goal, common goal? Number two is protect them against, right? So I think that for me, I've always been really intentional with who I let into my community. Most communities will let you ask 3 questions when joining, and you get to look at those questions and answers and figure out, we have different combinations. If they answer certain things, multiple choice, we deny them. Or if they don't answer the questions, like, how are they going to show up to your community? So it's really just protecting your people from people who are just trying to come in and, you know how it goes. People come in and try to poach and all that stuff. And I think it gets to be more collaborative. And last but not least, I would say really provide a plan for them. And when I think about, there's so many communities on the same topics that I teach on and build community around, how can I be different? So I'm always looking for, how can I stand out? How can I welcome them differently? How could I be very intentional with like learning about each person that comes in and welcome them individually or in groups as they come in, and highlight them and give them a shout out and recognize them, and just really getting more custom, like not just looking at them as like a profile picture and a dollar sign, but actually getting curious about them. So I think that's really what it's all about. So we do a lot. Like, if you've been a part, like you've been in my stuff, it's whether it's my free community, one of my events, or my programs, we're really intentional on getting people to move forward and commit. So for example, when I have an event coming up, people are joining that community, we're going to get them to introduce themselves, get them a little uncomfortable, get them to grow a little bit. And we won't even let them be a part of the contest in that event unless if they introduce themselves first. So I think just having a clear expectation, do things that different, that maybe they haven't experienced before or experienced in a different way, and they'll remember you. So I think that's what's really about. Number one, getting the right people, like-minded people. Number two, protect them. Number three, I don't even know how to summarize that one up, but it's just care about people, I guess you could say, right?
Definitely. So as we're kind of shifting and talking more about the community model, I think what's been really powerful, Doug, is you're kind of at the forefront of everything. I feel like you started using School a year ago. School is on fire now. You started using ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is something that people use every day. What do you see happening next in our marketplace when it comes to online businesses and coaching? What are you seeing will be like some of the next waves or trends that we should look at?
Yeah, really great question. I just feel like it's simplicity, especially when it comes to like AI, automations, all the tech, all the software out there. I think people are just really seeking community. And I think that's why we see a lot of these softwares building community platforms and making it as simple as possible. And I think that the simple and most effective will win. So it's hard to say as far as trends go, but I just think people, I feel it. It's just there's overwhelmingly so much to do and use as far as growing a business. And I think as things get more automated and AI develops more, I think the people who are going to stand out are those who are building real community and connection. So anything to do with community, I feel like that's really what I see the future being here, especially when it comes to like online marketing and building businesses in this fashion.
Yeah, that's so true. I could see it happening as well. I was working with another coach. Do you know who Danielle Leslie is? Have you ever met her?
I haven't.
She is a amazing Black woman who has a company called Course to Scratch, where she teaches folks how to create their online courses. And she's made multi-million dollars doing that. But when I was working with her at the end of last year, she was telling me how she was leaning out her team. She just started working with a group called Member Up, and they have their own community space. And she was talking about how things are moving into the community. So you could really see this shift, right? One, she did the same thing as you. She had a team of like 10 to 15. She only has a team of 3. She's focusing on community and really building that and being more of that front face person when it comes to her business. She had taken a big step back, and she realized that she never didn't like coaching. She never didn't like the things to do that the front facing stuff. She just got convinced by other coaches that was the thing that she should do and that she should pivot toward. So how do you address that as a coach? Like, how do you make sure that you choose coaches who are going to guide you in the right direction when you're building your business?
great question. And when you think about that first million, right? And I mentioned what happened, I spent most of it on coaches. Never regret, almost everything led to something great, but I think I overinvested and had too many. And a lot of them didn't really have the lifestyle that I wanted. So it's not just about the unique mechanism. I do have to believe in the process or what their goal is to accelerate me towards my results. However, I want to even pull back the onion a little bit more and see how's their lifestyle, how are they showing up? And I think that's more attractive than anything. So are they personally developing, and are they living a lifestyle that is true to what they say? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to see that, but I think as you go through this process, you could really tell. And I believe after you start making money online, it becomes more of, lifestyle and having that new aim and mission-based causes and a lifestyle that is more in line to values than anything. So I think it's really aligning to your mentor with that perspective. What are their values and how are they showing up? And is that what you want to become?
That's a good question and something to really sit with, y'all. Like, is your mentor, is your coach someone that you want to become in the future? And not just the marketing, right? But who they really are as a person. So Doug, what I was attracted to when it came to you was, the full-time freedom, as I told you, but also you have a really big mission of trying to build like 100 homes for folks. And you have that great aspect of your business happening. When did you start doing that? And when did that become a part of the path to be able to not just take the money for profit, but to be able to give a piece of it back to community?
Yeah, well, it all started with community. Back in 2019, I started doing well, better than what I was doing waiting tables, and started to open my eyes to mentorship. And my mentor he just interviewed last was out in California, invited me out to a mastermind. What is this? I don't know what that means. Came out here, had one of the most epic experiences ever, just getting around like-minded individuals. A lot of them were even younger than me, building multiple million-dollar businesses. And, I'm back home. I love my friends back home. I say back home now because I moved to San Diego permanently after that. And they're great people, but they're always, when you get a job or when you go back and finish a degree and that kind of conversation. And I'm like, I don't really talk about what I do because of certain reasons. And again, my friends that I met out in California were just doing epic things. And it was all centered around community, getting together at these meetups, sharing what's in the way, sharing what's working. And that's the first time I had that experience. But one of the things that they were talking about at this meetup was this house build. And I'm like, sounds amazing. And COVID hit shortly after that. So I did sign up for a house build, but we waited over a year to go and do that. So it was around April 2021 where we were able to go down 2 hours south of San Diego, down to Baja, California, Mexico, and build a home for a family in need. And I'd never experienced anything like this. I mean, to be able to build a home in 72 hours for this family of 5 that was living in a single room hut on the dirt floor, sharing one bed, 3 kids under the age of 5. And I get chills watching their eyes light up every day with the structure going up. And on the final day, opening that door, they open up and go in. They got an insulated home with a roof, 2 bedrooms, a loft, new bedding and furniture, water, solar. Like, I was touched. And I did several of those. I kept going back as a volunteer, and then it came to me that I want to lead my own build and bring my people to build these communities, bring my community to build these communities. And it's interesting. Every time we go back down, these houses are painted a specific color. And it's now like all the hilltops are actually covered with these homes. And in fact, they're running out of a 3-year waiting list. It's now down to weeks. And they're actually starting to move to other cities to develop those cities and build homes for families. So it was just really cool to see the progress. But it was because of affiliate marketing. I was top 10 affiliate for a big launch in the space about a year ago and got a $25,000 check for finishing number 3. And I said, if we win this, I'm going to put this whole check to building homes. And with whatever check I get, first place got 100K, second place got 50K, third place got 25K. So whatever we do, we could build, as many homes as possible. So with the $25,000 check, we were able to build 2 homes for those families. So that's what we did about a year ago. And then at that build, I said, how do we do more of these? Like, I don't want to go chase that next big award, like the $10 million award. but I want to go and donate $1 million to this cause. And for us to do that would be about 100 homes. So if I could build 100 homes with my community and seeing that ripple effect, that's the new aim, because it really comes back to community that changed my life and this experience that really I get to be a part of and then share with others. And it's interesting because the people we've brought on these builds now are bringing their kids back and their teams back and their families back to build their own homes. So it's the ripple is real. And I'm excited. We got one more coming up next month, and we'll continue to do this until probably beyond 100, honestly. But we're on house build number 4. And we got plenty of way to go, but I've found a way to incorporate my affiliate income coming in and my clients show up for us. We found ways to gamify our programs where every month we give people a goal. And if they don't hit that goal, they pledge a certain amount to donate. I match all that at the end of the month. So I've even found a way to incorporate this into our products and our programs, and we're raising money faster than ever. So yeah, thanks for letting me share that. I'm really moved by this, and it just feels like a cause that's near and dear to me because I've been a part of that.
Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me help my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show. It's a really cool project, and I'm excited to join you on the next build. And I think that it's always great to hear people that are making money and giving back, because I believe, Doug, that money is like such an exchange, right? Like when we give out, we even give more, but it's an energy exchange as well. So it's just really powerful to see you rock. So one more question for you, and then I'm gonna let you go because you literally been talking all day. I mean, I know you get really busy. What I've noticed about your business as well is that your fiance, which is your fiance now, congratulations again, is a part of the business. Your brother is. What advice do you give folks who are looking to scale their business but want to do it with their families? Like what have been some strategies you've done to make sure that you're able to get business done, but you're also able to continue to build that relationship with your family members?
Yeah, certainly been a challenge for me. And I think I've broken all the rules when it comes to hiring. They say no family, no friends, no clients. And when I looked at my team, when it was 12 of us, it was all family, friends, and clients. And I think it's just, for me, what's worked the most, because I'll be honest, where I get to really lead and step into is that leadership and delegation and the team empowerment side of things now. It's really about just the boundaries and separating the two. So you got to think Kelsey and I live together and we work together, and it's just having those clear expectations of how to communicate about the business and then, you know, in our relationship. And really when it does still happen, and we'll say, hey, work's done, we'll put that on the back burner for tomorrow. And I think it's just separating those things, especially with my brother too. And, you know, it's brother Doug and it's, you know, partner Doug, because I consider him really a partner in the business. So, and just going with it and just knowing that it's not going to be perfect, but really one thing I could say is really find out what is the goal for not only the business, but how can you tie their personal, professional, financial goals to hitting goals in the business? And that's one of the biggest things we've been focused on now, is meeting regularly to check in with what are our goals and is this in alignment? Because anytime there's a disagreement among the three of us in this business, we're really like, it's not us against each other, it's us against the problem. And we all want the same things that are going to lead to things that we all want in our personal, professional, financial, and that just works out. So I think it's just, if I could have continued to grow my team at the scale I was going, and not that I'll go, I do think we'll get to the point where we want to, maybe grow a little bit more, but I feel really good about being lean and building this foundation this way. And that way, if we do decide to grow beyond this, we have things in place where we get to, lead our team the right way and empower them in their roles and have everything set and ready to go. And also know that there's a time and a place for business and friendship and whatever else it might be.
That's so beautiful. Well, congrats to you and your team, your family. You're doing a great job being an amazing leader, Doug. What are ways that folks can continue to support your work and take the next step in working with you around affiliate marketing or building out their own communities?
Yeah, DougBoughton.com is the best place to go and check out. And it has our Mission 100 homes and our free communities and information there. And if you are on school, Community Creators Club is our free community that you could join and see what we're doing there.
Definitely, y'all. I'll be sure to include that in the show notes so that you can get to working with Doug. I love working with him, and he's an amazing resource. But also, y'all, even if you're just listening to this and you are just like really passionate about giving back, please give back to these 100 homes. It really supports these families. And we would love for you to join the mission, because I'm on the mission with you, Doug, and it could be a really powerful thing. Y'all just think about it. Like every day you wake up, you have a home, you have water, you have a clean bill of health, you have clean food. There's so much gratitude that should go into that. And just a little bit of money can help the next family get that same access as well. So thank you again, Doug, for being here. And thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. All right, y'all.
Well, appreciate you. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. Till next time, y'all. Peace.